Welcome to Pediatric Dentistry from A to T, the podcast that covers all aspects of pediatric dentistry, clinical, business, wellness for dentists, and leading-edge science. It's all right here. And now your host, Dr. Jared Johnson.
Welcome back. Tonight, I am so excited to have Kayvon Mott from DocSites on with us tonight. Kayvon has been a great person to work with through the dental education industry. He is really about providing information to you so you can make the best decision for your practice. And honestly, out of everyone I've worked with, I consider Kayvon a great friend of mine.
Likewise.
He invited me. I didn't have the chance to meet him at the Chicago Midwinter. I had other obligations, but he invited me to come out with them and join his team and just be present with them. And he's always been willing to reach out to me and work with him. And that's not always the case with all the other companies that I get to work with. So I appreciate that. And I know, like I've said before, I know Kayvon delivers a great product. And he's got one of the offices in town. He's got one of my mentors' offices, like just because of the talks and the conversations that we have. So I appreciate you coming back. Welcome back, Kayvon Mott from DocSites.
Thanks, Dr. Jared. So excited to be here today and excited for this topic. I think it's super relevant to what's going on nowadays in dentistry.
Yes. So today we just got an email blast from the ADA, from the Health Policy Institute. And if you haven't checked that out, it's a great resource for you to get information about what's going on in dentistry. And right now, I am familiar with one of my colleagues out in California who he's dropping Delta Dental. He's done. And this Health Policy Institute, they came out that one in 6 dentists reported they dropped insurance this last year, private pay insurance. That's a big number. That's a lot. And out of the amount they dropped, they lost about 17% of those patient bases. And there is a huge movement in dentistry right now. The key driving force, they actually, with the ADA, surveyed other areas, and they said confidence in the market is low. And COVID hit. I mean, I looked at the numbers today just at my practice, and if I dropped Medicaid, I'd probably lose about $300,000 in my practice, but that's also 55% of my practice. So I would be, we'll get into this later, but I'd be seeing fewer patients and potentially maybe opening that spot up for someone else, making more money. There's a balance to this, and we'll unfold that a little bit, but fee for service, for those of you, our listeners, Kayvon, not everyone understands that. But fee for service is that you charge the patient, they pay the full fee, and then you provide them with the paperwork to reimburse the insurance company. So that differs a little bit from a different model, like a Medicaid model or HMO model, or where you get paid a certain amount every month, no matter whether or not the patient shows up, you get the money. And Medicaid, you get paid if it's a covered benefit, which there are some challenges to both systems. That's also nice in some areas where, hey, I don't have to have the conversation about what's this going to cost with the Medicaid patient. I can just do the work. I can do a whole crown the same day, get paid, make money, move on with my life. And then you have the PPO, which is mainly what my practice is. And I don't think I could operate without it. I'm about 43% Delta Dental. So I think it depends on your area. There's a lot to unfold on that, but I just want to give everyone the overviews of that. And then I want to quickly, before I bring Kayvon back in, work into the pros and cons of going fee for service, because you may be considering this right now at your office. When Kayvon approached me for this conversation, I said, I'm going to look at that. Is that the right decision for me right now? And I would highly, highly recommend you bring in another group of people to look at your fees, look at where you're at. The ADA has a great resource with their fee schedules. I didn't realize with COVID, Kayvon, did you know that the newest fee survey is like 30% higher than the last one that the ADA did? Did you know that?
The fee survey is 30% higher?
Yeah, approximately. So when I did my work with Unlock the PPO, we went to the 90th percentile fees. And I got the ADA fee service survey back this time when they released it last year. And now I'm in the 50th percentile for fees. Just in the last 3 years. And that is incredible. But the pros of going fee for service, you're going to increase your profits. So you're going to get what you want to charge per procedure. You're not going to see as many patients. You're not going to have to hustle. If you're stressed and tired, that may be a reason to do it. I've had mental health issues. I've been open with that. And great. If that's what you want to work less, maybe a great decision. You can still file insurance for the patients. And one of the great things is you don't have to verify insurance anymore. It's up to the patient to make sure it's active, and you don't have to do prior auths. And I know how much time that ties up with your office managers and things. And I know a lot can be done electronically, but it's not, as you say, a guarantee of benefits. The cons are you can lose patients. I think if I did this, I would probably lose that 43% and also the other 55%, and I would be in big trouble. So you need to weigh the pros and the cons at where you are in your journey. You could lose revenue if these patients leave you, go somewhere else to the office next door. That can be a problem. You're going to have a marketing expense. You have to communicate with these people why. And I think the why is a big reason, because one of my friends in California says Delta Dental now pays me less than Medicaid pays me.
I know that dentist very well. The same one we're talking about. We're helping him.
And the why is like you cannot pay your staff, pay for your equipment loan, pay for your business loan, pay for the marketing, pay also for the materials you're using, and not get paid. Like you can't, you cannot do that. There's no way you can do that, but you have to be able to communicate that effectively through marketing, which Kayvon's going to help us with tonight. And patient education is a big one. I will tell you this, they will hear one thing and nothing else, and you got to hit them from multiple angles. And that's where this comes to. That's why Kayvon's on the show tonight. So Kayvon, how do we do this? So let's say you have a dentist that you're working with that has made a decision. They're not getting paid enough. There's lawsuits against Delta Dental in California.
There's anger in the community with Delta Dental. If you just drop that into a Facebook group or ask a business owner, they have a thing or two to say about Delta Dental. So we're seeing this exodus that's really happened because of what you've said and shared with fees. And so the thing that you have to consider when it comes to marketing, you're exactly right. It's a different ballgame. If you think about your patient, just think about their journey, right? Before, they would just go on an insurance list, see, hey, your name is local. They'd look you up. As long as anything wasn't horribly wrong, they'd book an appointment. Nowadays, it's a little bit different because that person's not going on a list. Where are they going? They're either going to go to friends and family, or they're going to go to Google if they don't know, right? They might have a brother or sister who has kids, right? So who do you take to see the dentist? They're going to ask that. But secondly, if not, they're going to go on Google. So that's why if you're going fee for service, the lowest hanging fruit that you need to take advantage of is doubling your Google reviews. So if you're at 10, you need to take them to 20. If you're at 20, you need to take them to 40, and so on and so forth. Wherever you're at, just double them, because that is the fastest way that you will get patients to find you, those fee-for-service patients to find you through the internet. So it's definitely always where you want to start.
Yeah, Kevin, I think that is great advice. I hope you're not at 10 or 20 right now. I'm in Iowa in a town of 20,000. I have over 400 reviews, not all good, which is great, but it's so easy to do. I know you can help with it. And you also promote sharing that on your website. I don't do that. I don't have time to get with that. I need to probably hire someone like you, but it's important also from a mental health aspect that I see my colleagues post all the time about a negative review. I just got one last Friday and I was like, hell yeah, I don't care about it anymore because I have 399 other ones that are great. And I don't want to be 5 stars. I want to be 4.8 or 4.9. So there's like a little bit of like, hey, he's not perfect, right? But what else can we look to as far as not just the reviews, but if you look at insurance, there's ways. So what I do, I don't know if you do this with your clients, but for all the insurances out there, they're going to Google their insurance company pediatric dentist, right? So I have pages optimized, even if I'm not in network with them, for the the insurance
Yeah.
company
Yes.
dentist that accepts Delta Dental. And
Oh
I have
yeah.
that keyword in my local SEO. And even if I don't accept them, they can land on that page. I accept assignment of the benefits. It doesn't mean I don't accept them. But are there any
That's
tricks like that?
super smart strategy and approach, because again, it goes back to how is that mom or dad looking online. So if you know that you want to pull in people that say PPO dentist or Medicaid pediatric dentist or whatever it may be, then you can actually create a page for that. And we've done that for many clients for that exact strategy. So when someone's going online, they find them. Another way you can improve your reviews is you could get video reviews. We all
That's
say
new.
how many, an image or a picture is worth 1,000 words. What's a video worth? 100,000, a million, right? I'm joking, but I'm making a point in that when someone sees a video of another person with their daughter, their son, they're bringing multiple kids with the dentist, all of a sudden you become humanized. All of a sudden you go from this dental practice online to like, wow, that's what I'm walking into. I want to make an appointment. They have great reviews. I get a sense of what I'm walking into. Let me pick up the phone and make an appointment. So don't sleep on online reviews. Yes, on Google, yes, on Yelp, but also online videos, because that's becoming more of a thing than more than ever.
So, Kayvon, I'm going to tag back into this one because I'm like an introvert at my office. I mean, not really, but I'm not like one to, I don't like to ask anything of anyone. You know, that kind of person where like,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I can do the show. I can do everything at the office, have fun with the kids, but I don't feel comfortable saying, hey, would you want to record a video with me that we can showcase your child and how awesome they are? Like, how that's like awkward for me. And I need to probably get better at that. But what do you recommend to your clients to get
Let
more
me ask you a
comfortable?
question. What do you do with your reviews? Because you have a lot of reviews. So what strategy is working with your reviews?
Well, we do have a company that will do Instagram posts for them. I It's a set, like you say, you don't like this. It's a set it and forget it mentality. I know a lot of dentists do that, but I just haven't found the time. But I'm interested in getting some more of these things that you're talking about at my office, and I'm just not comfortable. Like we have a relationship, and I feel very strongly about ethics in our profession, and I don't want to cross. I know we have patients that rave about us, but I don't want to cross that barrier and ask them to do something and have them not be comfortable with it. And I want them to be comfortable with their privacy and their care and their relationship with me. And I mean, I go to dance with my daughter, and probably 70% of the kids are my patients, but and they're all pointing at me, but I can't. And they're like, I am very clear that I'm not telling you anything. I'm not telling you. I just say hi, I'm kind, and it's great to see you, but I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I saw you last week, right?
Yes.
So we got to be careful as providers. And it's great to have that recognition, but what are some things for someone like me that is comfortable with being like in this environment, but not
Yeah.
comfortable being in a
Great.
professional setting outside that? How
So
I
couple
don't, that's a lot to take on, but that's my question.
Yeah, so let's say you're a dentist, you do clinical work, you love it, you're great with patients, but maybe you don't feel comfortable asking, for online video testimonial. What do you do? So one thing is you can delegate it to someone on your team who does like that. Because as much as maybe you might not want to ask that, there's another person, believe it or not, that it just comes second nature to them. They'll ask without, even you asking twice. So one thing you can do is delegate it to someone on your team and have them ask. And what's another tip to that is ask at the right time. So ask, your systems, your protocols, right? They come in, they check in, they're in the waiting room, they get their procedure, they get the checkup, they make their next appointment, and then they leave. In between those 5, 6, 7, 8 steps, there's probably a good place to have your team member ask them, hey, would you be open to leaving, a review or sharing your experience with it? So that's one thing where you can delegate it and make sure it's some part in your current systems or operations. Because otherwise, your team member is going to think, I got another job. You don't want them to think that. You got to think, hey, after step 6, between step 6 and step 7, just ask them this and use our phone or use an iPad or something like that. A second way that I've seen some dentists do this successfully is they actually have a branded wall, right? So it might say Arctic Dental or, their logo, and it looks cool and branded. And then again, they have a team member as part of their system. They take a photo with their patients, they put it on there, and what they say is every month we do a drawing. If you want to be in a sweepstakes to win, we have these cool prices. Some people say even for just entering, you get a toothbrush for your child. Of course, you got to do the paperwork and things like that. That makes it like a fun kind of way and game that you could still get those photos, put it on social media, put it on Facebook, make those announcements on Facebook. And it doesn't involve you asking the actual patient, hey, will you do a photo? Will you do a video?
Those are some awesome tips. We actually have you're sitting behind, I know our listeners can't see this, but you're sitting behind a DocSites branded wall. I actually have one of those, and we had it set up when I started in one of the future ops, and we would do that. I just haven't been, I'm busy. We're booked out so far. So maybe this conversation is about fee for service and PPO. Maybe I need to listen a little bit more to what I'm talking about, trying to promote, than I'm just an anxious, nervous Nelly. So let's move on to how do you move into, market. Let's say you're going on a network and you are nervous, you're going to lose patients, but you're going to kind of hedge your bets and you're going to offer an in-house insurance plan like Bento or something similar, which a lot of offices already do, which is great for your fee for service. You can still be higher on the fees, but you can, instead of collecting, I think in my area, from what I know, Delta pays about 70% of my full fee. And some of the other ones pay, like Carrington Benefits, they pay 95%. And maybe you want to make an in-office plan that pays 95%, and you're willing to move those people over to that. What are your thoughts? How do you market that with your transition? Because it's a nice way to say, hey, going out of network, but we're going to do some things in-house to make it more affordable for you. We're not just cutting you off, if that makes sense.
It's really important that, one, you communicate your membership plan in a way that is focused on them, right? So a lot of times marketing, we want to talk about ourselves, our business, our membership plan, but really focus it on them. What are they getting? What's the convenience they're getting? Why is it better for them? Why does it make sense? So if you can communicate it that way, then you're going to be better off than just focusing it on you. Secondly, it's really important on your website to showcase that membership plan, because it's a great piece of real estate that you have, and a lot of doctors and practices are not using it to their full benefit. So make sure that somewhere on your website, on your homepage, you have an in-house membership plan. And when patients click on it, they can easily see what they're getting and what the value is, because just like everything, people are going to check out your website. Even if they hear about your membership plan, they might not say yes right then and there. They might say, oh, this is my first time, Dr. Jared, I'm hearing you're going fee for service. Okay. And you could tell them, great, just go on our website. We have a great membership plan. It's an option if you'd like. It's there for you. If you have any questions, just let us know. So if you do any kind of membership plan, make sure it's really easy on your website for patients to see, because they're going to go look at it at some point.
Yeah, and while we're speaking, I just pulled up, if I want to go buy an individual plan for Delta Dental in Iowa, they're going to pay more than if they were fee for service with me. But let me repeat that. They will save money if they don't need any work at all. They will, like, if they come and just routinely take care of their teeth, they will pay more paying Delta Dental than they would if they would just pay my full fee. So that could be a way, say, you could put that on your website and say, hey, here are if you were going to pay for whatever XYZ insurance, it would cost you this much a year. If you were to come to me and do cleanings and your routine care with me, it'll cost you this. If you need additional work, now that's a different mix. So maybe if they're high risk, it doesn't make sense. But maybe if they're just a person that comes, takes care of their teeth, does the routine stuff, and does everything they right at home, that can save them a lot of money, a ton of money. I'm just astounded by the savings they would get if they would just pay for the services that we provide. I can't believe that. I mean,
exactly.
That's
and
a
you want
great
to
way
make
to
sure that you're showing it in a way that's really easy for them to see. So what we do for a lot of our dental practices is just like those checklists, right? The X's of what you get from one plan, and then the check marks of what you get from another plan. So the easier you can make it for patients to see, wow, like I get so much more with your plan, the better it is, the more effective it is for your marketing.
Absolutely. That excites me a lot. So what are some ways that dentists can make like their office stand out? Because obviously we talked about a little bit about Google reviews, videos, photos, but if you're going to do this, you really need to step things up. I think before you go out in network, see if that clause where it's like 90 days or whatever each insurance company requires. But you need to plan for this. You can't just decide that, hey, people are going to keep coming to me, right? You got to step it up and show why you are worth the fee, why you are worth what is good. What are some ways that dentists can just show what they're doing and show they're worth it to their patients? Because
One of the best, yeah.
I don't think a lot of patients understand how hard dentistry is and what we do.
One of the best ways you, as a pediatric practice who wants to attract more quality patients, can show your worth is to highlight your technology and make sure you use words that a mom or a dad would actually understand. For example, you might offer a Soleil laser, but a mom wouldn't really understand what that is. You as a dentist know what that is, right? They just think it sounds like cool technology. So it's important for you to say on your website, on your marketing, how you're communicating it, this laser is virtually pain-free. You don't need anesthesia, and it's faster treatment a lot of times for kids. That a mom or a dad will actually understand. So highlight your technology and make sure you use words that they understand. They don't understand zirconia or things like that. They understand, oh, it's like a filling, like a natural colored tooth filling. So if you use and highlight the technology in your practice, whether that's like, actual hand pieces, whether it's the material you're using, how you make it more convenient for them and for their child, it's one of the best ways that you can stand out. A second great way is, again, photos and videos. You wouldn't be surprised how many people go to your website and they say, I want to make an appointment because they see a photo of another person and they say, I like her. She looks friendly. He looks nice. They look like they would take care of my child. And that's because they don't have stock photos. They have actual photos of their staff, of their team members, of their operatories, of their fun games, right? One of the cool things about being a pediatric practice is like you have cool offices, way more than the average dentist, right? You might have an arcade machine, a pinball, like they're just so fun. That makes it exciting for the child, and it makes the parent feel like, okay, this is made for my child. I'm not walking into a surgery room that's going to scare them. So use photos, use videos, communicate your technology. Those are all really great ways to stand out from the competition.
Yeah, that's great. Kevin, I kind of want to right now, I know this is kind of not normal, but I want to challenge you to a game. You give me like a dental word like zirconia, and I'll try to give you the parent friendly, and then we can maybe work this together. I haven't done this before, but it sounds
Let's do it.
kind of fun. You start with zirconia, and we'll go from there.
Let's go with zirconia.
White crowns for baby teeth.
Dental prophies? Do you say that?
Cleanings for your kids.
It's a great one. You're gonna have to tell me if there's any other ones.
Yeah, so like I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I'm just rolling with this right now. Sedation dentistry, comfortable dentistry, right?
Yes.
Easy. They like
Yes.
they're not going to Google
Yes.
sedation. They might go online and see like tongue tie, or you're going to say frenectomy. They're going to say tongue tie, right? That's a different term.
That's
if we
a good
look
one.
at maybe the Celea, maybe we look at they're looking for injection-free dentist. I mean, there's holistic
Gentle
people.
free, gentle dentist, things like that they would search for. You're absolutely right.
And they may search. This is pretty basic, but they may search pediatric dentists, but probably dentists for kids or children's dentists. Like we're looking at keywords. Another great resource if you're looking at finding like some of the answers out there. They may look at different things, but Answer the Public is a great resource that I use. I just type in a keyword and it'll give you all the what's, who, when, why, where, how, and then you can kind of dive into that if you want for SEO, which I don't do as much anymore, but those are just kind of things that Kayvon will do for you that he's talking about. They have a whole team that does this. They are experts in this field. So those are just some things that I think of that off the top of my head that, I mean, could be helpful to someone going fee for service. And I wouldn't discredit, like I said earlier, having even a page optimized, even if you don't accept the insurance, you accept the patient. So you're not being misleading in that aspect. I wouldn't discredit you knowing who your employers are and having a page, because they're probably more likely to Google that than go the insurance company in that aspect. Kevin,
I'm curious what your take is on the front desk and phones and training the front desk to convert those calls into appointments, because on the marketing side, we see this as a really, really big problem. And whereas you had a flood of people coming to you before because you were on an insurance list, that's not there anymore. So every missed call, every missed opportunity that doesn't turn into a patient is much more money out your pocket, because now you're paying for marketing. Now you're missing those opportunities. So what have you seen works for yourself, your practice, in terms of training the front desk, having a follow-up system that works?
Yeah, when someone asks if we're not network, we tell them we accept assignment of benefits, and from that let me rephrase that, because you're going fee for service. There's different ways to do it. You can, as fee for service, accept assignment of benefits. You can, as fee for service, also accept full payment and then file the claim to the patient. So it depends on what you want to do. But if I'm out of network, so I'm mainly a PPO office and Medicaid office, the language should be, we accept assignment of benefits if you are going to be taking the benefits from the patient and billing them later, or balance billing them. Or if you want, you can say, we are happy to help assist you file the claim. We have many patients that have that insurance and are happy coming here. And if you do, don't say it if you don't, but we're happy to assist you in filing the claim. And that's how my eye doctor is. I pay them in full, and they're not in network with my insurance, and we file it to the insurance, and they send us a check. And it may be a little different at the start, but figuring out that terminology can really help you because you're not turning them away. We have many patients with your insurance that come to us. Like, that's reassuring, right?
Yeah,
You're not
absolutely.
turning them off, and you're not misleading them. And if you're fee for service, you can tell them what the fee is. There's no, oh, when I go and look at what I do and people want to know what it costs, I said, I can't tell you. I really can't, because I have to go by whatever the insurance says, and Delta Dental won't give me their fee schedule that I'm assigned to. So yeah, you want to have this done? I can send in a prior authorization, which is not a guarantee of benefits. It's not a guarantee of payment. So I can't tell you they're going to pay me. I mean, it's a tricky game. It's not easy for us. And there's language on both sides that works. But what we found is just say we are happy to file on your behalf or assist you to file on your behalf, and you'll get reimbursed by insurance company. This is our fee if you're not in network and not willing to file it for them. And I think maybe when you initially transition, filing it for them may help them a little bit, changing that in your software. But I think if you were going to make the switch in the long term, I think it'd be better to hand them a piece of paper with the claim and the dentist signature and let them move on and deal with it on their own, from kind of what I see. Because if you're spending more time to file it on their behalf, you're kind of defeating the purpose of the cost savings of the front desk. And also you're training them to have another barrier when you stop doing that. So those are just my thoughts. I don't know what yours are on that. And I think a lot of people don't understand the cost associated with dentistry, the cost associated with providing good care. Things have gotten, I mean, I can't believe, off topic, but CDs are like 4%. You can get a CD. Like, CDs have been like 1 to 2% for like how many years? And now all of a sudden interest rates are going up and the banks want the money from their customers, not from the government. Things have changed, and I think dentistry is changing. I don't know where things will go, but I mean, 1 in 6 dentists dropping insurance, there's a trend there. Maybe an opportunity for other markets to open up. We'll see what happens and see how patients deal with it. But we've got, Kayvon, in my community, a big problem with access to care. And I honestly don't think the way dental insurance companies have treated dentists recently is going to help it. It's probably going to hurt, but
it definitely has hurt it because they've angered the dentists out there.
There's definitely a group, and I know the ADA just passed in Massachusetts, like the medical loss ratio, that's going up in a ton of other states. So, I mean, if you're not an ADA member, the ADA is moving on that. I mean, they spent $4 million in Massachusetts. Gosh, I mean, they can't do that in every state, but once all these states adopt this is going to be a nationwide thing. And I think, well, it'll probably come out better, but it's going to take time, because why should some insurance company pay a CEO millions of dollars and not pay on the patient's care? It just is ridiculous. So I don't know, a lot of anger built up. I'm more on the positive side. I look for the future, look for everything to come. And is there anything else that you have to offer tonight, Kayvon? Is there a way to get in touch with you, that if someone was
Absolutely
wanting to look at to maybe marketing these little packets of like, hey, I want to get those pages up for these insurance companies before I go out of network, how can I SEO market in my local area so that when someone Googles me and I'm not network, we find out, we get them in the funnel and train our front desk, get all that information collected? Is there a way we can get in contact with you to prepare, have a plan?
It's docsites.com, DOCSITES.com. And if you go there, we have all the information that you'd want. We've helped so many dentists just like yourself. If you're out there switch and go fee for service, or at least you don't have to completely switch, but get more patients from online, the internet, your website, and really just get more out of your marketing dollars. So if you're looking to attract more quality patients, if you want to be more visible in your local area or community, just go to docsites.com. You can see our prices, you can see our packages. We've been in the dental industry 14 years. We don't have any pushy salespeople or anything like that. It's full transparency. You can see the prices of our packages, of what you get. So a lot of people like that. And again, go to docsites.com and feel free to reach out to myself. My number is 818-489-9823. That's my personal number. If I can support you, if you have any questions or you're considering improving your website or marketing, I'm happy to help. Again, Kayvon and the Doc Sites.
That's interesting that you add that in. We're not like a dentist. We give you the fees up front as we talk about. So if you're fee for service, you can do that. And the other last tidbit of information that I learned, I didn't know this, but there are third-party administrators of these plans that, like, one that comes off of my top of mind is Carrington Benefits. And when I signed the contract with Carrington, I got network with some other companies like Cigna and other companies, and they'll pay, in my area, a good premium. And there is a clause in there that if I increase my fees they will just increase the percent they pay. And that was really helpful for me to know, because in my area, they don't have a lot of providers for the insurance companies that they're leasing the network to. And I didn't know that. I had to hire another company to look at that. And I would definitely look at that. I know Premier Group is another one that does that, but I don't understand all that. So I had to hire someone. I had to unlock the PPO to do that. And that, if you're kind of on the fence, that may be a good route to go. It depends on your mix, where you're at, and your growth. And I hate to say it, but I stopped working Fridays. We dropped some of this Medicaid, hired Unlock the PPO, and I made more money last year working less days. So there is a way to do this. And I know, Kayvon, you gotta have their help and communicate, because you don't want to lose a patient. You don't want to be losing 17% of your patients if you don't have to. You already have the hardest thing is acquiring the person. Once you acquire them and you build a relationship, like, if they like you, they're still going to come and pay that. They may not like it, but if they know they're getting a quality service, they're treated well, and they're in an office that is comfortable, they're going to stay with you. And I think Kayvon really communicated a lot of things tonight. I really appreciate you coming on again. You have been awesome to work with. And we do have a webinar coming up in October that I want to invite everyone to. We're going to put up some websites, look at the websites, what's good or bad. Maybe you can put mine up there and kind of grill me. I think that'd be kind of fun, but you've just done an awesome job for promoting.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been really great just getting to know you over the years now, and just supporting dentists to get more out of their practice and educate them so they can make better decisions.
Well, again, thank you. And I hope all of our listeners, wherever you're listening tonight, have a great night. If you are looking for any more CE opportunities, we have free CE monthly, around 3 hours a month free at pediatricdentalce.com. Kayvon's been a great supporter of that. And I'm just so excited to move pediatric dentistry forward.